Please, all heads of departments in the Faculty of P and Applied Sciences, please move in front of the room for your procession. Heads of departments in the Faculty of P and Applied Sciences, please move to the front of the hall for your procession. Thank you.
The VC is outside. Go and be snapping him. Procession. Procession song.
Please let us rise to welcome the academic procession.
This lovely mountain, you've kept the promise, now we're singing. All dressed in splendor, as you promised, again is heard. Oh, dear sweet rainbow, allure my feelings. Make so timeless. One race for zenith, we together began one day. You led me on as we've come this far. We fixed our shoulders at the time just to live. You let me on as the race was made. There to be champions. We are winning.
national anthem.
The national anthem.
Oyo State. Once again, it's my pleasure, all of us distinguished Nigerians, to the second faculty lecture of that special support in Faculty of Law and Applied Sciences. The faculty is special in a university that is super special. The number one state university in Nigeria, the best university of the government, and by the special aid of God, number 90 best out of 260 universities. This morning, we are so fortunate to have distinguished Nigerians with us here grace this occasion. This is an academic program, and we won't be doing too much of anything, including that the introductions will be minimal. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to call on the Dean, Pure and Applied Sciences, to come and lead the celebration of the guest lecturer, Professor Martin Ogboyi. Begin, sir.
Acting Vice Chancellor of Staff, Professor Ron Khalil, the Deputy Registrar and Faculty Officer of the Faculty of Pure and Applied Sciences, all professors, HODs, ladies and gentlemen. Standing before us today is a father in the academia, a professor of professors, a mentor by excellence, a leader of a student in perpetuity, a conservationist, and I can go on and on. You can then see from what I just said that the seventh Faculty of Pure and Applied Sciences lecture series we have a big cat today. A big cat because Professor Olorode is somebody that people run around, run about to call for lectures like this. Actually, this lecture ought to have taken place like August or September last year, and we thank God for today. I must mention that reading the citation or the profile of a person like the person standing before you today is one of the toughest assignments. In after that, we will need nothing less than a very fast one for that matter, to read through in order to do justice to the citation of Professor Omotoye Olorode. Or in the alternative, we to convoke a well-attended meeting where we will spend several hours discuss his achievements, his pedigree, which we refer to as the citation. But since this is not possible, we have no choice to summarize for this purpose what the committee on the lecture series for faculty has put together. Only to add that Professor Olorode is an epitome of humility, an academic to the core. A while ago, before we came here, when we were discussing about this profile, he said, please don't waste time reading my profile. I said, why, sir? He said, anybody that wants to know anything about me to go to the internet. And if they don't find anything in the internet, then it means that there's nothing to know about me. That is Professor Olorode for you. few days ago, in a forum, I tried to advertise this lecture. I placed it on the WhatsApp group. I didn't know I was committing an error. I said, this is to invite people around the world, Ibadan, Ilorin, for our next faculty lecture to be delivered by Professor O. Olorode. Not quite 2 days after that, somebody posted something I want to post. He said, only, meaning that I was only inviting only people from Ibadan, Ilorin and Ogunmoso. He said, he is too erudite for that. Let there be created a link to ensure people can join wherever they are to listen once again to this biodiversity group. End of story. I immediately learned that I had made a mistake. I said, okay, no problem. And I believe today what we are doing here is being free. Ladies and gentlemen, Omotoye Olorode retired as a professor working at the FPAS University in Nigeria on September 3rd, 2008. After 41 years of research, after 41 years of teaching, research, and intense public service and engagement in popular mass and labor movement activities. Prior to his retirement at Ilefe, he was president of the Genesis Society of Nigeria between 1984 and 1986. He was an active member of the Botanical Society of Nigeria and the Genesis Society of Nigeria. He was also a fellow of the Linnean Society of London, fellow of the Genesis Society of Nigeria, and fellow of the Botanical Society of Nigeria. Thereafter, he was constant professor of botany at the University of Abuja and Olasiko Namadi University at Akwa, from where he finally retired to live in Ogomoso, studying at the Ogo University. I repeat, studying at the Ogo University. No except the student disability. He's a member of the lab of and the delegated in India with wonderful biological and social children. He was born in 1941 into a family whose forebears were originally from Ilefe. The family were farmers, while the another family were traditional believers. He grew up in a completely traditional Yoruba ambience, which became gradually swallowed up, literally by Western and Middle Eastern cultures. From primary school experience in a Baptist school in Ogomoso and an Ansarudeen school in Lagos, he grew up imbibing the triple heritage of Yoruba traditional Judeo-Christian and, to a lesser extent, Islamic culture. He trained as a teacher in Ogomoso and Osogbo in the late 1950s and early 1960s. In Osogbo, he met radical nationalists during the Lumumba's Congo independence movement and became familiar with the writings of H.O. Davis, Nnamdi Azikiwe, both of Nigeria, and Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. He started undergraduate studies at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he met lecturers like Kadu Ezera, G.E.K. Okomata, Bas Afunwa, and a host of others. And student leaders like Ken Emezi, Adakaboro, and Ibezim Chukwumeriti. He had to transfer to the University of Ife in October 1966 because of the impending civil war. He was one of the three 1967 first-class graduates all the three transferees from University of Nigeria, Nsukka, at the University of. He was appointed as assistant lecturer and proceeded to the University of Kansas, Lawrence, where he obtained a PhD in botany in 1970. He returned to the University of Ife in October 1970, and since that time, the then Dr. Motoye Olorode had taught foundation botany, systematic biology, plant taxonomy, biosystematics, cytogenetics, genetics and evolutionary mechanisms at Ife, Bauchi, Akunga, Abuja, and Agoiwo. He has supervised many PhD students, some of whom are now retired professors. But don't let us forget, he is still learning. He has published journal articles on taxonomy, biosystematics, genetics, cytogenetics, and organic evolution, especially of the weedy species of the grass, the sunflower family, and the flowering plants generally. In Psychology, Nigeria Journal of Botany, Annals of Botany, Botanical Journal of Linnean Society, Nigeria Journal of Genetics, American Journal of Botany, and a host of others. Among his major published books are 2 editions of Taxonomy of West African flowering plants, long plant products, and the Ife Book Project, Introduction to Genetics, with Tunde Fatula and J. Adegoke of the University of Press, and the writer of poems in the plant kingdom with H.C. Ilo in the Ife Project. Throughout his teaching career in the Nigerian University system, Omotoye Olorode was passionately committed to teaching to the students and the students' movement. He won Best Teacher Awards at Ife. And at the University of Abuja. He is a honorary life member of Students' Union. I repeat, he is an honorary life member. I'm not of Students' Union of a number of Nigerian universities and of the Federal Polytechnic in Laro State. He is also honorary life member of the National Association of Nigerian Students. And an awardee of Commander of Great Ife, conferred by Obafemi Awolowo University Alumni. He has been involved with education and organization in the Nigerian labor movement, and specifically in education and organization in ASU and the Nigerian Labor Congress. He was chairman of the University of the branch of FPAS 1985 to 86 and has been a member of the national negotiating team of FPAS since the 1980s. He was a member of the dialogue committee and the collective that joined other university campus groups at Nsukka, Calabar, ABU, Jos, Port Harcourt, Lagos, Ilorin, and Ibadan to erect with the NLC the foundations of us, the Nigerian Labour Movement, since the early 1980s. In this regard, he has contributed and continues to contribute to working close to the working class and popular education through public lectures, symposia, and rallies, and through articles and books on voting, political economy, on education sector and culture, and on Nigerian history. Professor Olorode currently practices as a conservationist at Odoje Biodiversity Center, Odoje, Orile, in Ogbomoso. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. I'm happy to have a man who is larger than mine in this hall, and on behalf of everybody in the Latin community, we will do this. There's a slight change in the program. It's all qualitative factors. About what we do within this house, all respect. At this point, it's going to be this amendment. Vice Chancellor and I call on the registrar to admit to apply into oral membership, the life membership of the land. Thank you very much. For me, so, on behalf of the country principal and the entire country, to decorate these ASU activities, I don't know what I said. Refuse to enter the number of times that we want to today with his colleagues by the in those days we need to hear about the every time there is trouble in the land will be there. I happen to know what was in the government church. Once in a while, once a woman when the prophet was able to have the chance to come up with the quality church and make sure that he came around to judge them. It was always essential to have a banner, and today we are here to honor as member of this university community. And we are pleased to have all the work we have done for the system, for the university system, for the university system, and beyond. Thank you very much.
Can we please give him a round of applause?
We will stand before kings and not mere men, and that's what is happening to Baba today. We have one behind him as president. We take this to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
May I call on the Vice Chancellor to come come and declare this lecture open.
The registrar, the faculty of John Advanced distinguished professors, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to be present here at the 7th Faculty of John Advanced lecture. It's an honor not just for us as declaring but it's an honor declaring a lecture to be delivered by your own. I've gone through the lecture as given to me, so I want to make some remarks before declaring it. And I want to bring the judges for everyone here present. That immediately I talk about the phone, you excuse myself and the registrar to go and face some other institutional cases. I've gone through the public lecture, and I understand from what is there here that biodiversity of education is the totality of all living things that are here. But in the sketches, the illustrations, and the text, I didn't see a mention of bandits and terrorists. Are they part of the ecosystem of our biodiversity? But this is what I declare the 7th Faculty of John Advanced.
Sorry, before going to the lecture, we'd like to have a photograph of those who read. This is us 2 minutes.
Tô agacho, eu sei.
Let's be prepared to welcome the lecturer to the rostrum. Photographs can always take place later. So after this, no more photograph until after the lecture. After this one, until after the lecture. Professor Lorede, we are waiting for you, sir.
Vice Chancellor, Principal Officers of Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, the Dean Faculty of Pure and Applied Sciences, Provost of Colleges, Deans, and other faculties, and Dean of Postgraduate School, heads of departments, professors in the faculty and other faculties, distinguished colleagues, fellow students, great alumni,
Great!
distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Invited guests, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ọlásọpé Oyèlárò, ọmọ Bàtẹ̀, you are welcome. Invited guests from Odoje, Elewe ọmọ people at Ọ̀jájàgùn, if they are here, ẹ kú ojúmọ́, ẹ mọ́ kiri lóko lé, àfihàn kiri sáà, ìyàwó torí public discussion of the biodiversity around the commercial and agenda for conservation, for inventory and for research. I want to thank Abadilati, Chairman of the Faculty of Bio and Applied Sciences, for instigating this engagement. And I want to thank the entire committee for their diligence in the last 1 week especially. I want to thank also all our colleagues who have been central to ensuring that we proceed with this discussion. I want to thank Toyin Adegori, Professor of Agriculture, also for being always there. I want to thank Professor Mrs. Bale, also especially for their support for their education, for keeping us active intellectually and in our various civil engagements. This lecture was a recent discussion. I have problems with it because I know that this is an audience that is not necessarily a specialist audience, but in front of which we have to make a whole lot of specialist statements. But we will try to deal with that as carefully as possible so that we are able to engage ourselves in useful communication. So this is not just a lecture, a specialist lecture. It is a social lecture, it's a political lecture in a way, because the crisis of the environment has become a political question. And so the outline of the lecture, I start with some introduction about living things and their diversity, biodiversity, bioresources, and the limits of defining all of this from a purely human or utilitarian point of view. That's what we mean by an anthropocentrism that's centered around man. So we try to address humans as an ecological and cultural space today in relation to biodiversity and biodiversity. We address related elements in biology and ecology. Our understanding of research and inventory, general inventories and inventories of special categories. What are the infrastructures that are required for research, for inventory of biodiversity and bioresources? We address the general inventorial look at the human and its environment. We look at biodiversity in time and space. Because it changes over time and from one location to the other. We then address the question of conservation itself. And then we reach a conclusion about generating and sustaining awareness, especially among our people. Who are the ultimate components of biodiversity? Not just in our society here, but globally. And so, we address the crisis of the environment, and we say it's traceable to the declining biodiversity around the world. In fact, there are people who insist that ultimately decline of biodiversity will ultimately end of the living. Ultimately is of poverty among the people. Where people are poorer than you are in the beginning. This situation is particularly experienced in the developing countries, such as Nigeria, because all the crises of the metropolises, like the European metropolises, United States, and so on, are exaggerated, as it were. They are multiplied in countries like Nigeria. Because the entire political economy of the globe also revolves around metropolis. But if you look at something like withdrawal from whatever, from petrol, kerosene, diesel oil, and so on, the whole lot of these are directly for biodiversity. But for example, firewood has become a major problem for most people in our country. What's the past river area west of Kaiji towards Yeruwa, Jega, Sotobu? You will discover that there's almost no trees left at all. And women are particularly overburdened with the business of looking for firewood to do. This is directly related to withdrawal, the so-called subsidies from kerosene, which is a supplement for cooking and so on. So this is a very, very concatenated situation. Of course, living things are what biodiversity is about. Differences of living things. That's what biodiversity is about. Plants, animals, and microbes. Biodiversity ultimately is determined by the environment in time and space. a program, as it were, inside each organism that allows it or enables it to be able to do one thing or the other, or not to be able to do one thing or the other. So through their genetic resources, genetic whatever, living things are able to carry out what we call metabolic activities and to survive in the environment. Bioresources are the totality of plant and animal resources in a locality. That is biological resources. And they comprise domesticated and wild, known and unknown or partially known biological entities. It is a dynamic concept. Biodiversity can be created, it can be recreated, it can also be disrupted. It can be wiped out completely, as has happened in many places. And they possess known and unknown values. The problem with human beings is that, and I think religions are part of this problem. Human beings are persuaded that the world is created because of them, by God. That is a very serious problem. It's a very serious error that human beings have made. The world is not created by God because of men. The world is created by God or whoever because of all the organisms in the world. And that is why human beings have become the major danger to the world. They wage wars against themselves. They wage wars against the environment. Indeed, an Indian commentator made the point that if you want to know what is really most important in the world, imagine a world in which all human beings are no more. The world will not know that human beings are disappeared. In fact, the world will be very happy. But imagine a world in which there are no plants, no animals, no nothing. Just human beings. There will be war immediately. In fact, there are wars already. There are wars already. Between one local government and another one. Between one religious group and another one. Between one tribe and another one. Between one country and another one. And these wars are about resources. They are not just because people don't like each other. Because people don't like Fulani or Fulani don't like Yoruba. The war is about resources. All these anti-Fulani, anti-Igbo, anti-Yoruba things is about resources. And what the ruling class does is to divide the people so that they can exploit these resources fundamentally. So we have what is called the total economic value of bioresources. That is the value that we grow and the value that we don't grow. And the study of bioresources is culture-based. It is culture-bound. And it's a product of the amplitude and quality of knowledge. How much we will grow will depend on the quality of our knowledge of our environment. Okomasoro is located in what we call the green savannah zone of our country. And it consists of urban and rural communities spread across 5 government areas. the culture and naming of places. That is the location of Ogbomoso, the map of Nigeria. That area is what is called the Guinea Savannah Zone, followed by the Sudan Savannah Zone and the Sahel Savannah Zone. Swamp areas near the sea, lowland forest next, dry forest next, before we get to the Guinea Savannah Zone. Okelere, named after where elephants gather in large numbers. Somewhere in the lecture, I made the point that as a child, I know that elephants pass regularly near where we were living in a place called Aworodada. Regularly. In fact, women have to stop on their way to the market for elephants to pass when I was growing up. And people knew forefathers. It wasn't just legend about the environment. We knew them, we saw them. In fact, young men have to go to the farm in the night to make fire to direct elephants away from our farm where we were growing up. So, a lot of places, the biodiversity was so ample that we experienced all of these things as children. Ìdí àgbẹ̀, ìsàlẹ̀ àfọ̀n. Àfọ̀n is Treculea africana. It's a common plant in Yoruba land. Tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ti ṣoògùn lè rí ìsìn. But there's a place called ìsàlẹ̀ àfọ̀n. And the àfọ̀n itself is very useful in Yoruba medicine for easing birth of women when women are about to give birth. There are things made from it. So the Yoruba have this incantation. Bí àfọ̀n kò bá gbó kì í wọ̀. You know, it's part of the thing that the child will mature before the mother, before the child is born. So these are all ìdí àbẹ̀bẹ̀, you see here ìdí àbẹ̀bẹ̀, ìdí ìgbà is the locust being tree, backyard like Ogosa. Eleso, there is a village near Igoyile called Eleso. Actually, it's a town. Okay? It's named after Esu, that is Benisetum Popurium. So, biodiversity looms very large in the culture of our people. Ogbomoso lies 8.122 degrees north and 4.2436 degrees east at an elevation of about 350 meters above sea level. All of these are very important because where a town is, where a location is, also affects what kind of plants and animals you will find there. It decides when plants will flower because of day length. For example, there are species of rice that will flower at Jeba, but will not flower at Ilefe. These are genetically determined characteristics of flowering plants. And biodiversity is about ecology, i.e., they are influenced and controlled by the environment. How much water is available in the soil, how much rainfall the location gets in a year, the nature of the soil itself, temperature, and so on and so forth. Generally, breakdown of isolating mechanisms may lead to hybridization. These are technical questions and all of that. So we won't have to address too many. This doesn't need to delay us here. And ecologists, people who study communities of plants and animals, have developed a whole lot of theories about including what they call succession and climaxes. In other words, if we get to a location that is completely bare, no plants there, no animals at all, if we leave the place undisturbed over time, plants will come there to colonize it, and they will attract animals that will come to live in that location. And this will change over time. And these changes are characterized by changes in the species composition. What kind of plants are there? What kinds of animals are there? This is what ecologists refer to as succession, one after the other. Over time, a series of successional processes will lead to a situation in which the composition of species in the location becomes stable. No more change. These are referred to as climaxes, endpoints. And so we have vegetational climaxes like forests. We have anthropogenic, human-caused climaxes like fire. In the grasslands, annual fires create a situation where the animal and plant species remain the same for a very long time, again and again and again. So the climax, anthropogenic climax, is reached. A climax created by man. That's the center there. And all around, you look at what plants are used for. Fodder for feeding animals. Secondary plant growth, a lot of chemicals are now available. We extract them from plants by a lot of pharmaceutical products are now obtained from plants. Medicine, medical and so on directly obtained from plant. Fuel, I talked about fire, shelter, a whole lot of houses in which our people live they were dependent entirely on plants, grasses, woods, and so on. Reclamation. We can totally change an environment by planting certain kinds of plants there, grasses, trees, and so on, to prevent erosion, complete destruction of topsoil, and so on and so forth. Of course, food, quite central. Although a lot of the food species are still in the wild. A lot of vegetables are still in the wild. Almost if you take okra and ewedu, and you have run out of vegetables, you have. Until recently, when people start planting things like and so on. When I was growing up, nobody could sleep with me. It's all over the place, but you can't find it anymore. There are dung are very as regular netting of vegetables and all of that. There are so many plants in our environment that our people are still using regularly. So the part of the crisis of the environment is that a lot of useful things are disappearing. Incidentally, we can also say that just like plant communities, there are animal communities that overlap with plant communities that interact among themselves, that are pests of our crops, that aid our crops. For example, as pollinators, okay? Or that depend on other pests that eat our crops, and so on, and so forth. So you have plant communities, they overlap with animal communities, and they interact. Let me say that this is particularly important because in a way that we don't do, plant and animal communities determine what we are. You may ask me why. In recent times, there's a lot of research in the area of what we call epigenetic mechanisms. That is, changes in gene products in our body that doesn't change the gene itself in our body. There are various mechanisms. What they call methylation of the DNA. There's what they call modification of histone proteins and so on. The meaning of this relay is our experience, what we eat, determines whether certain gene products in our body will function or not. Our experience is like our fears. As you know, when you are afraid of something, what happens? Adrenaline is produced in the body. That adrenaline is produced when the gene for it is triggered in your body. So there are things that we see and are produced, certain chemicals that remain in our body and determine who we are, how we respond to other human beings, how we respond to diseases, and so on and so forth. So this is an area that is very important in relation to our environment, our experience. There are experiences that only Nigerians can have because we live in a particular environment. There are experiences that only us can learn about because we are there over a long time. So we are not just our genes that we inherit. We are also products of our environment. How our genetic system responds to certain environmental influences that trigger genetic responses and so on. And so we say organisms have evolved incredible adaptive strategies, especially in stable ecologies. A lot of these are responses to effects of powerful, natural, and human forces of what we call selection. such as exposure to less or more light, selection arising from competition, selection arising from protection from diseases or predators, adaptation to drought, deforestation, grazing, herbicides, weed killers, and insecticides. A whole lot of these things are completely changing our environment. In an environment where herbicides, weed killers are used constantly, only certain kinds of species will survive in that environment. That herbicide that we are applying is a selection factor that is determining what will survive or what will not survive. Insecticides animals and plants also respond in another way. Resistance genes, the genetic composition of organisms change. For example, if we apply a lot of insecticide to mosquitoes, there will be mosquitoes that will begin to develop resistance to particular kinds of insecticides like DDT. That is in fact why the use of DDT and similar chemical compounds are being discouraged. Organisms develop genetic resistance because of the selective power of the input that we are putting in that environment. And so, a lot of these forces are endangering a lot of species. We now have a lot of endangered animals and endangered plants. Of course, part of the thing about human forces is hunting, indiscriminate exploitation of the environment. And you know, Yoruba and many of our people across the country, they have a culture that also protects biodiversity, that protects all plants and animals. In Yoruba land, a hunter does not kill an animal that has babies following her. Is against the gods for a hunter to kill such animals. A hunter does not knowingly kill an animal that is pregnant. A kò gbọdọ̀ pa ẹran tọ̀lẹ̀tọ̀lẹ̀ unless the fetus inside the animal. It's a crime against the law. It's a crime against God. Because the fetus is the next generation. The young animals that are following the mother are the next generation. So conservation processes are futuristic, strategic. They look much further than where we are. Conservation is intergenerational. We must manage the environment in a way that we can hand over what we inherited to the people who are coming behind us. So conservational processes are intergenerational projects. In most, you must not cut down a tree that is flowering or fruiting. is related to this thing about Akokodo, Byron, Tole. It's not done. So, animals and plants actually share an environment. They co-evolve. They rely on each other, and so on and so forth. An animal that gets education and gets a lot of food and begins to simply destroy, eat all the food there, it's not likely to last. It's not likely to last. And that relates to human beings. Human beings on this planet simply consuming all the things on the planet. It's not going to last. You heard of locusts? It's locusts. They are grasshoppers, autopteran grasshoppers. You have outbreaks of soup many times, but they come and disappear because they eat everything they find, and there's nothing else to eat. So they all die. Majewara, Akuwara, Lodibama, so any organism that simply consumes what is in the environment without thinking of conservation is not good. And that's what we mean by the crash, outbreak crash cycle. And of course, we know that there are all kinds of pests, agricultural pests, public health pests like mosquitoes and so on and so forth. Agricultural pests like some butterflies, some caterpillars, some bugs, and so forth. So we need to keep track of all of this so that we can live in some reasonable cooperation with nature. One of the biggest disasters that has happened to human beings, especially the Western human beings, is the notion that we have conquered nature. Colonization is about conquering people, wiping them out if need be. It's the same general attitude about how human beings have conquered nature. Human beings cannot conquer nature. That conquistador mentality is temporary because nature cannot be conquered. Nature will conquer you finally when you destroy your habitat where we live. So it's something about, but the real danger is that this conquest does not even make food available to most human beings in the world. It's only very few people that enjoy the fruits of this conquest that they are talking about. As I'm talking to you now, the large majority of human beings in the world are starving. They are hungry. Apart from this, our own hunger in Nigeria. The large majority of human beings, in spite of all the progress of science and technology, and it is because of the conquistador mentality, the conqueror mentality that the human beings generally have, and which our own ruling class also have, especially in Nigeria. Torí tí ẹ̀pà bá pa yá, tó bá yá yóò para náà ni. So parasitism has that fundamental law, that logic. So researching is about looking for a plan search for an answer. Is what research is about. And so we need a strategic research program about our environment. The details should not delay us here. But the research itself, the formulation of the problems and the goals are not valuable. When people say go and do research, they are talking about a particular kind of research. A lot of the time is research for profit that will bring profit to some people, usually to a few people. And that's why, in spite of the advancements of science and technology, as I said, most human beings are still
hungry.
very hungry. There are countries where the government actually destroys food to keep the prices up. Yes, there are such countries to keep the prices up. There are countries where a lot of food is produced, but the people who produce it are hungry because the food is exported. That was the basis of the original research institutes like Cocoa Research Institute, NIFOR in Benin, more plantation, and so on. There's a lot of research that went into those places. But if you look at the Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria, you look at Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria, Oil Palm Research Institute of Nigeria, proper research, they were set up for
Say battery and weekly. Battery mic.
They determine political power, decides research agenda. We need to return that research agenda to the owners of Nigeria. The universities need to start thinking seriously about that. As I'm speaking to you now, a society that I was president of, the Genetic Society of Nigeria, has been taken over by people who are peddling GMO food, genetically modified crops. And they are very restricted. It's not just every crop, particular crop. Cotton, maize, maybe soybean, and so on. Maybe cassava. None of this will grow under shade. The meaning of it is that large-scale farmers seize the lands of peasants. They grow these things, tomato and all of that, genetically modified tomatoes, so. And most of them are exported, or they are processed in such a way that even people who grow them cannot buy them. So, research is not neutral. It's value loaded. And our universities need to know that. The young people who are coming behind us need to know that. Ultimately, the only use of education, of intellect, is the liberation of the masses of our people. Not just for you to become a big man, big scientist, director of research. It's not sufficient at all. You can become director of research in the country where most people are hungry, like we have now. And researching, finding out, knowledge building can take off from existing literature. This includes various textbooks, monographs, published journals, and journal articles, and general internet sources. We used to have textbooks, basic textbooks in Nigeria on various aspects of our environment. On insects, you can walk into a bookshop in 1970 and buy a book on butterflies of Nigeria. You can walk into a bookshop up to about 1985 and buy a textbook illustrated color on small mammals and rodents of Nigeria. No such textbook exists anymore. And it's because we are focusing on other things. So, as time goes on, it's white people that will come from Europe to come and teach us about what butterflies look like. There are young people who are growing in Lagos or Kaduna today who are not seeing a butterfly in their life. In fact, as you ask me, when did I see a butterfly?
In a movie.
Just think about it.
It's in a movie.
These are critical changes that are going on in our environment that is affecting us, affecting our blood, that we are not even noticing. Precisely because we are not paying attention to biodiversity in our environment. So there is, of course, literature, but they are very few, and we need to build this literature. There's nothing wrong with somebody sitting down and writing a book on common trees or common structure. Common trees or common structure. And they are there. Who calls you anything? Just a camera to take a photograph. And many amateurs, people who don't have formal training biology, can do this. They are there. Without it, we will forget who we are. Actually, we are forgetting who we are. Most of us. And that is a cultural disaster. That is why people tell you all kinds of stories about what Netanyahu said or what Donald Trump said about black people. Netanyahu didn't say any such thing. Trump didn't say any such thing. But our own people are beginning to completely lose confidence in who they are, that they make stories to destroy themselves. How black people are useless and things like that. Nigerians sit down, our children sit down, and they expect this thing that Africans are useless. And it's a lie. Because when Europeans were living on trees, we were already building civilization. And we need to read all of this. The university is not just a place to get a degree and go and start complaining about what they are doing. It is a place to rediscover, to reinvent ourselves so that we can be in control of our destiny. That is what it's about, really. And it's a political project, as I said. And so this research is a participatory agenda between us and our people, especially people in our rural communities. And even in the town, you walk around the woman, you will see that some weeds are protected around the house. A lot of those weeds are important medicinal plants. So, in the rainy season, there is rain, sunlight is green. Okay? Pepperoni and medicine, there is okay apple, heliotropium, indicum. It's all over the place. There is a new offenses that come. They are there. You know, our people are just saying they've been preserved, they've been protected, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot, as I'm going to say later, to learn from our people. And the knowledge of our people, the language of our people, is a major repository and compass. When you are lost in a place, you need a compass to locate your direction where you are. You need to find out where to find information. The language of our people is a major repository of knowledge. Even when the objects of knowledge have disappeared, that idea is still in the language. I was teaching our people and saying, I don't nobody to go on now. And I'm one of the oldest in this town. Nobody to go on knows what a people is. But it's an animal that our parents knew. That's how it got into our land. See, it's about the size of a big goat or something like that. But they are disappeared. If we lose our language, well, maybe they are still somewhere. If we lose our language, we will lose that history. We will even lose the compass. Is there something called that? Where can we find it? It's only our language that will lead us there. If I was telling the chairman of the committee of this lecture that we should begin to think of student organization, biology organization, economics organization, student engineers. You must begin to go and organize a lecture in the town hall, in the churches, the mosques, to tell our people what you are doing in the university in Nigerian language. If you cannot, what you are learning is useless. If you cannot explain to mechanics, if you are an engineer, and you cannot explain to mechanics in Turkey or in Germany what you are doing, what you are learning is likely useless. I can deliver a full lecture in genetics and on their book in Yoruba. I can't. Is the whatever they do. Our language is a compass for what we may have lost, but which may still be there. And it is also a repository of the knowledge which our people have. And so read Yoruba books. See, I refer to the book by N.D. Oyeride. N.D. Oyeride. The book was published, I think, in 1934. The Way to Omosho. Read it. Wow. You will see plant names, you will see animal names, you will see locations named after animals and plants, and so on. read the history of Ibadan, read the history of Enugu, of Kano, written by old people. All this information about our environment is there. It's there. It's waiting for reinvention, for reiteration. It's a very critical task. 1934, there is one by the President Okotu Oyediran, Okuloke, the name of that. Incidentally, the Ogbomoso organization has reported to the this is not just an Ogbomoso affair. It's about Nigerian, because the information there applies all over. But I'm just using it as an example. The whole 456 code of IFA is loaded with information about our environment. Information that we have lost. And this is not just our loss. This is loss to humanity, to all of humanity. Because there are things that we know in Nigeria, different parts of Nigeria, that nobody else knows in the world. And it is the reason why we need to really all of this. Of course, there are many things about inventory, which is cataloging what we have in our location. There are standard textbooks for this. There are modern ways of locating where the tree is, the global geographical positioning GPS. Can be used to locate all the trees where they are, so you can go back to the same tree, or go next year to see whether that tree is still there, and all of that. DNA mapping and all of that. These are all, and these all need modern tools and modern and knowledge. Various infrastructures are required for research and inventory of biodiversity. We had this on the place. We invite you to come and see what we are doing there. It's not a commercial organization. It's a community organization. If you are free, you can visit us there. We will show you around. If there is students, small students, you want to come, you can even host you overnight if you want to stay with us. We have tests, body and learning facilities, free of charge. So it's not a okay, so there are we have photograph of our workstation.
Move the projector. Move. Move. Go forward.
Yeah, our workstation. Yeah, that's our workstation. We got an assignment from Faculty of Pharmacy and Department of Body. They were screening for anti-cancer agents on Nigerian plants, and they gave us this project. They wanted us to collect 195 plants for them, and we were able to do most of it. So, the communities around the know that we had this facility. In fact, they also bring things to us that are rare, which we then plant, so that people know that it's there and it's protected. So, one of the gentlemen across the river brought one of the things for us which we have planted there. We identified it for them. They just have to ask some of the things in their gardens, and they are going to collaborate with scientists and amateur whatever. Yes, botanical gardens are good, but it gives us a sense of a false sense of security that we have everything.
Next.
So we need bigger areas of land to be able to, and we need to also encourage our own people where they live to begin to conserve as much as possible. Of course, we are not quite a lot of work when I'm still active at the teacher in university. We worked out quite a lot of genetics most of the grassroots and members of the sunflower family and flower patterns generally. There are characteristic species in
Go forward.
in its location, and we have some photographs of them. Can you bring that down? There is a whole lot of flowers on top of a tree that is called Iya Danielia. One of the signatures in Savannah. This is a lot of flowers and a lot of. In fact, it's colonizing, but the fruits are able to grow very fast. So it's one of the key things. What you see there is the back, the body, the front of the plant that you have called Ologotese. Ologotese is a tree that is usually planted shrine of wood, God of life. And what we try to do here is the body. Each result you see there is protection against fire. So when there is fire, when there is fire, that's why this is to protect people that fire will not go into. We not go deep into the context. One of the key species in our environment is the locust tree, tree, backyard. It's widespread in Savannah. That is a fruiting tree. This is a flower, one of the most beautiful flowers in town. The garden or anything for that. Nobody is planting anything from which we get to so what's that? There's a lot of okay. who are not even the owners. Although they give you 20 naira, and then they double they will solve you. So many of us nobody has seen them really. But these are all things that we have.
It's clearer here. It's clearer.
There are many wide relatives of this is road. The Russia is very important for the harvested. In fact, you said it to feed goats and sheep in the town. They are disappearing. This is sharp water attached by caterpillars, you know. So a lot of our crops and our trees, while are also subject to a lot of caterpillar and other insect attack that we need to study. This is old vital to the very strong wood. It's in the same family as the lion. They are all over the place. It's the young leaves are also edible as vegetable, and they grow very easily. The fruit ripens into flat and edible. In our environment, there are many plants that also are parasites of plants. This is one of them, Tapinanthi. They grow on top of other flowers. This is not a great picture, but it's parasites of Okababa. Get it from. The parasite is the flower plant. We don't have anything, but we have a lot of damage done in the other part of our body. This is a common sabbatical sodium. Because very common, we have this energy goes to the edge of it. Let's go to the very last. Okay, so yeah, please go back. I want to see something there. No, next. That one. A lot of plants have a lot of cultivated plants, crops. They have wide variety. This is a wide field of yam. They are very small. And they are fingers of hydrocortisone. A lot of the wild yam. This is wild yam. We don't have it, but it's quite common in many parts of our country. This is wild kola. Go together. I was telling Dr. that apart from cultivated kola, we should be looking at relatives of cultivated kola for some of the things that interest us. Look at that. This is why Yoruba call it koko, and it's supposed to set the food. What is the problem? But it's all over the place, especially that is competitive for potato. These are all parts. So our agroecology is also full of a lot of wild relatives of cultivated plants. Let me just kind of summarize this business by talking a little bit about animals, because I have a limited training in animal biology, but I have struggled to do some study in this area also. I also have the advantage of growing up in this environment, so I know quite a lot of them. Birds, frogs, you know,
Usher, usher, usher.
and so on. They are all there.
Open the windows. Usher, open the window. Open the window.
Wild and interact.
Baba, it's okay.
But it's very difficult to find a car now anywhere. Whereas when we were growing up, they were all over the place. In fact, our parents used to send us early in the morning to the farm to go and scare a cow. That is what's the zoological name? To scare them from our maize farm and all. And then we have to go again in the evening because we have to study when they feed, because they feed on the maize that we plant. So we have to go and try. And returning to the animal that you won't see anywhere else in the Ogbomoso. And funny, because we have at least a little relic forest. We have seen monkeys. Monkeys have been candy, you know. So, like monkeys, they breathe. They are candy. We have seen tortoises. In fact, we feed two tortoises at the same time. It exists. At the same time, male and female. White cats, they are coming back. All kinds of snakes are coming back. All kinds of lizards, okay, including the Nile monitor and all of that, they are coming back. So, if we are able to conserve the forest, the vegetation, we can attract many of the animals. I have some pictures which I can animal body is hedgehog, a precious species. We have found many of them. For the first time, in relation to our environment, the town, the cities, are rural education. Because the careless or irresponsible local government and governments that we have no position at all for education. So when it rains, our people just don't refuge in the gutters. The gutters are going to Ora, they are going to Lodi, they are going to Laka, they are going to Odomodia. You know, you'll be sorry when you see the condition of this river. And this, including relatively small towns around us, not just in the all over the place. We have governments that are completely irresponsible. He said that when I was young, there were incinerators all over the world where refuse can be put. There is no such thing anywhere with the rest of my knowledge now. And these are very serious problems. the way we live. So we need to, and that's why I said that the question of the environment is not a political. One of the very last slides is about the conservation said what is required, training, and so on and so forth. So I want to emphasize that conservation encompasses species that are known and that may not be known, that are useful and which species we do not know. There are many things out there that we don't know the use of. We should know them. We should research them so that the knowledge will be waiting when we need them. And I'm raising this question especially because of what we call academic freedom. The freedom of universities to carry out research that are formulated by scientists and technologists and so on. Because a lot of the knowledge that we have today that are useful is knowledge that we didn't know. Most of what is known about human genetics today, we learned it from genetics of fruit flies. The sequence, what is called a sequence? These are the brown fruit flies that we find on. Most of what we know about our own genetic system came from knowledge that we gained by researching the sequence. And so, as my mother would say, God, your that is about strategic thinking in research and academic process. Thinking about the future. You don't wait until the day you are going to travel before you start saying, I must go and do that again. Then I must work. You will never travel. That is the meaning of preparing by doing research, preparing for the future by researching today. So many things that we need things that we find out. And we also raised a question about weeds. Àwọn òkúta arójà that are around and all of that. You know, you give the construction of them. We get them, we plant them somewhere. So we will need them. Why? Because all the crops of today were weeds of yesterday. All the crops of agave, rice, whatever. They were weeds. Human beings were started by gathering fruits from all over the place that were just growing as weeds. The second life that started cultivation of crops and domestication of crops, selection of crops, those with bigger seeds, better flowers, now, there are many people. Our children must know these things. In our house, we stand area. I feed the dogs. I feed them every day. I buy them one and feed them. our young people. This kind of effort get to be dramatic. Our possibility, and we can train our people in all of this. And we must, as I said, invest in the language of our country. Everybody in the university must contemplate how to explain what is doing to people in Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa or something. If you cannot do it, you are wasting a lot of your time. Certainly, as far as people are concerned, they have you can do it. So we need to inculcate. I want to thank you. There's so much that I have done. So much for your patience. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Water. You are supposed to drink water. Yeah, I'm okay.
Thank you.
The acting vice chancellor in absentia, the deputy registrar, all provosts and deans here present, all professors, heads of department, heads of unit, our leaders in the academic staff union of universities, ladies and gentlemen, you will bear me witness that the lecture, which has run for exactly 1.5 hours, delivered by a person of this age, and if not because of the malfunctioning of the microphone, I believe our father can go on and on and on. Thank you, and God bless you. You will also bear witness that everybody has a take home from this lecture. One interesting thing is that each time you interact with Professor Lorode, you gain something. And I want to relate something. Unknown to both of us, in 2016, we boarded the same aircraft from Abuja. But when I entered, I met him yesterday. He said, "Come in. How are you?" I said, "Fine." Immediately he saw me, he brought out a book. And we were discussing the contents of that. But something very scary happened that day. Before we left Africa, the pilot announced to us that as we are going, you may likely see smoke. Don't be scared. It's just for our air conditioning system. We had it. As we were going, we didn't see anything. But as we were discussing, Baba and I, something suddenly happened. The aircraft nosed as if we were going down. Come and see, come and hear all sorts of comments. One woman said, "Ọlọ́run bàbá lọ́lá." I had something to hold here in the land of the world. He has to continue making comments about people. They expect that And that's who we are in the faculty of law and life sciences. We didn't just hold but we hold the faculty lectures. And this is one of them. Congratulations. On this note, I hereby declare the seventh faculty of law and life sciences lecture series closed.
It's been a wonderful day for all of us. But I want to perform one or two miracles. I want the direct students of Professor Omotoye Oluyode at the University of Ife to pay homage to Prof. by standing up. Professor J.K. Oloke. Please, I also want to recognize Professor Zelari. Please, Baba, stand up and the wife. The wife was a federal microphone for the last 2 years. So thank you. He's a professor of linguistics, Yoruba.
My sister, who is also my wife, who is his wife, I.B. Oyelana. We were together as different before I retired as vice chancellor of the University of the United States. And all of us were imprisoned by Babangida.
So I said to do this so that our students will know that they are blessed to have been here today. You are listening to the professional teachers. If I have a broad generation, I belong to about 6 generations of professors that Professor Oluyode has produced. So that will not thank you enough. We thank God for your life. And we thank you that every time we call on you, you always receive us. You always bless us with the word of knowledge that you have. May God continue to grant you good health. Amen. At this age, at 83-84 years old, we got your life. This house has been blessed for all of us. On behalf of the Dean of Faculty of Law and Life Sciences, we want to thank everybody who has been here today to be a forum for education. We do hope that next time that you come, you will answer us. I wish you all of this. Thank you. The Department of please see that we have to look for those who are in place. The Department of that is the baby of Professor Oluyode is giving forth his bodies. As a token of appreciation to my grandfather, who continues to illuminate our knowledge base. Professor, the
The HOD is Professor Henry Aziz. He was supervised by students that Professor Olorode supervised. And that is Professor Molaki, who has also retired as a professor at the University of Ibadan. So ọmọ ló bàbá àgbà wọ́n ní àgbàdé bàbá just a nice person, but I think this is the meeting that we can do for you at this point in time. So we now have a first procession. We please stand up while members of the high table will leave the podium, and thereafter other members will leave. Please let us be on our feet so that our guests
England.